Welcome to the world of whimsy yarn. This is a new episode of our amazing stories. Today's story is about a thrilling space odyssey, uncovering the hidden civilization on the moon. So, let's begin. The spacecraft trembled under the light lunar gravity, as astronaut Will, with all his might, tried to take off away from the deep Ayles crater. His eyes anxiously watched the strange ropes shooting up from the ground, restraining the spacecraft. "My God, what's happening here?" Will shouted in despair, hoping his signals would reach Earth. But just as the spacecraft began to lift slightly, the ropes pulled it back forcefully, preventing its escape. Moments earlier, James, Rose, and Jonathan were below, standing on the edge of the crater, staring at the illuminated glass columns that had suddenly emerged from the ground. It seemed as though they had entered a science fiction world, where small drones flew around them like bees, casting flexible yet strong metallic nets over them, restraining them and pulling them towards the center of the crater. Rose screamed, "What is this? How can this be?" In the blink of an eye, the three astronauts found themselves trapped inside a gigantic gate that opened into another world. A world full of strange creatures resembling humans in their form, but with large bodies, glowing eyes, and agile limbs akin to robotic arms. Each astronaut was held by two of these creatures, taken deep into the crater through numerous corridors, clearly revealing a non-human civilization that had developed away from human eyes. Inside, the creatures spoke in an incomprehensible language, their voices filling the place with strange frequencies. The astronaut suits were removed, and they were surprised by their ability to breathe easily within this massive structure. "How can this be? Are we dreaming?" James wondered in astonishment as they were led to a large hall. In the hall, 5 of the creatures sat on ornate thrones, displaying wisdom and authority. One of them, appearing to be the leader, spoke in a booming voice, "I am Ayles, ruler of this place." "Who are you? And how did you get here?" But the astronauts couldn't respond, as the language was unintelligible to them. The creatures displayed on a giant screen a reel showing how the first humans were sent to Earth. Initially, the astronauts couldn't grasp the meaning of the scene, but the truth soon dawned on them. These creatures had been sending those born with physical deformities in capsules into space, away from the moon. Some capsules survived and fell to Earth, where humans began building their civilization. The creatures had found a way to survive in this barren place, exploiting the resources within the moon. The 3 astronauts quickly realized that these beings were not just creatures, but a complete civilization living under the moon's surface long before humans existed on Earth. However, these beings were suffering from a lack of resources, prompting them to think of another habitat and wanting to know where these humans came from, believing the path to their home planet would be paved. Fearing that the creatures would discover Earth's location and invade it, the astronauts tried to hide information about their home planet. But the creatures possessed advanced technologies for reading thoughts and memories. Helmets were placed on the astronauts' heads, and soon the creatures knew everything. The 3 astronauts were taken to separate cells, held under strict surveillance. Eyes, which Rose dubbed the Guardians, watched them, and the faint light surrounded them from all sides. "What will we do now?" Jonathan asked anxiously, trying to find a way out of this predicament. None of his companions answered. Their eyes remained wide with shock at what had happened. None of them could yet believe the situation. Meanwhile, the space agency on Earth was receiving garbled signals from Will, who was trying with all his might to escape with the spacecraft. But the creatures were faster, as strange ropes caught the spacecraft and pulled it back forcefully. Subsequently, he was detained in a cell next to his colleagues, making the situation even more desperate. The leaders at the space agency on Earth received Will's last message: "We failed to escape." Everyone on Earth and the moon realized there was a real possibility of an impending attack from the moon, and they had to prepare to face this mysterious threat. The 4 astronauts sat in their cells, exchanging desperate looks, with each passing moment increasing their fears of the unknown fate awaiting humans. However, there was a hidden sense of hope among the astronauts. They could no longer know what was happening on Earth, and a feeling spread among them that this moment might be the perfect opportunity to show humanity's strength and resilience. They had endured before and managed to survive the dangers of space thousands of years ago, creating a great civilization on Earth. James looked at his colleagues and said with a voice full of determination, "Every moment of failure is a true test of our ability to find another path to success." But Can humans overcome their eternal failures and conflicts and unite to face this great danger that threatens them? The defense ministers from every nation on Earth had gathered at the United Nations Security Council. The room was charged with tension as the ministers exchanged anxious and suspicious glances. The discussion was centered on the proposition of launching a nuclear strike on the Ayles Crater on the moon. The debate was fierce, with strong opinions on both sides. One minister interjected anxiously, "We don't know the full extent of their settlements on the moon. Ayles Crater might be just one of their outposts. There could be entire cities beneath the moon's surface. We're risking an all-out war that might not be in our favor." A chilling silence fell over the room, the gravity of the decision weighing heavily on everyone. In those tense moments, worry etched itself onto the faces of the attendees, as if time itself had stopped. Simultaneously, on the moon, Governor Helios convened with his colony's leaders. The discussion revolved around the similarity between the human spacecraft that had arrived on the moon and their own technology. Helios tasked Zavos with studying the feasibility of replicating these spacecraft in preparation for a potential attack on Earth. However, Liana's voiced her strong objections to this idea, warning of its dire consequences. "We must be cautious. Humans might possess advanced technology that far exceeds our defense capabilities. From their memories, we've seen that their planet is rich in resources and highly developed. If we attack, it could lead to our extinction." The debate among Helios and his commanders grew heated, with opinions divided on the notion of an assault on Earth. The lunar inhabitants, like their terrestrial counterparts, couldn't reach a clear decision. Their faces reflected their internal conflict, understanding the peril of venturing into the unknown. The stakes were immense, and the potential sacrifices could surpass their endurance, leaving hearts torn between fear and ambition. Months passed with both lunar inhabitants and humans on high alert. The lunar inhabitants used their machines to monitor the far side of the moon facing Earth, listening for any tremors that might indicate foreign machinery landing on their soil. After months of tension and anxiety on both planets, the lunar inhabitants decided to send 4 capsules to Earth as a final warning to prevent further human expeditions to the moon. Governor Helios decreed that they would not engage in direct conflict with humans unless they returned to the moon. Meanwhile, on Earth, telescopes and satellites were trained on the moon, searching for any signs of unusual activity. One day, the Earth Space Agency detected the launch of 4 capsules from the moon heading toward Earth. The agency's director relayed the news to the world's leaders, suggesting that this could be the beginning of an attack by the lunar inhabitants. The debate reignited, with some leaders advocating for the destruction of the capsules before they entered Earth's atmosphere, fearing they might contain biological weapons or dangerous machinery. A young intern at the space agency, however, managed to analyze the vital signals coming from the capsules via satellite orbiting the moon. He hypothesized that the capsules contained the 4 astronauts. The signals indicated that each capsule held a living being with biosignatures similar to humans, matching the number of astronauts, and their size suggested they were designed to transport human-sized beings. The space agency's director shared this crucial information with the global leaders, explaining the situation clearly. "We can either destroy the capsules, sacrificing the astronauts, or allow them to land and discover their contents. No one can guarantee that any decision we make will be the right one. We must trust our instincts, either suspect the capsules hold great danger or see them as a means to bring the astronauts back to Earth, offering immense possibilities for peace and cooperation between humans and lunar inhabitants, something we failed to achieve on Earth." As the capsules neared Earth, hearts pounded with a mix of fear and hope. Suddenly, James experienced a flashback. What a moment when time seemed to stand still. "It's the first time I'm seeing Earth from here," he thought, smiling with joy. He remembered the initial moments they spent orbiting the moon before landing, with Earth gleaming like a blue jewel. Rose, on the other hand, was overwhelmed with disbelief. "Oh my God, how did I get here?" she thought, recalling the awe and wonder they felt upon discovering the lunar settlement. It marked the beginning of their risky and adventurous journey. The capsules drew closer, and the tension among the ministers escalated. One stood up, declaring, "We must make a quick decision. We can't risk the safety of our planet." At that crucial moment, the space agency's director jumped in again, passionately arguing, "If we destroy these capsules without proof of threat, we'll lose a great opportunity to understand the lunar inhabitants and establish communication. We must be brave and let them land." Who knows? They might carry the 4 astronauts who revealed this incredible secret to us. They sacrificed their lives for us. Will humanity make a bold and wise decision in this dire situation? What fate awaits the brave astronauts? Commander Leonos watched intently over the 4 capsules and the clear sky of the moon, each carrying secrets to Earth. The Lunarians used highly advanced technology to activate a protective field for each capsule, guiding them toward Earth with unparalleled precision. In the silver control room, Leonos, in her dark silver uniform, oversaw a team of skilled engineers and technicians who meticulously monitored the safety of the cargo, ensuring its safe arrival on Earth. As the capsules neared Earth's atmosphere, the Lunarians activated their maximum speed, making them appear as 4 glowing meteors hurtling toward Earth. With this approach, humans were struck by panic. This decision was like a lightning bolt to the leaders on Earth, who had lost all hope that the capsules contained the returning astronauts. Instead, they were convinced that these capsules carried weapons threatening the planet's safety. The Security Council quickly and anxiously agreed to destroy the capsules, even if it required using highly explosive missiles to ensure everything inside was incinerated. The global military complex leaders did not hesitate to execute the order, directing the most dangerous and advanced missiles toward 3 of the capsules. The sky rained fire, and explosions echoed as desperate attempts were made to destroy the capsules. World leaders discovered that some countries possessed advanced, targeted weapons on their satellites, which caused many Security Council members to lose trust in these nations. China was the first to attempt, directing a heat-seeking missile toward the first capsule entering its airspace. However, the missile veered off course and exploded away from the capsule. Attempts continued from China, the United States, and Europe, but all projectiles failed. The capsules seemed to possess a magical shield, deflecting the projectiles or neutralizing them with mysterious waves. Failure and fear gripped the world. No one understood why each capsule headed to a specific region of the world. In Africa, the leaders refused from the start any decision to strike the 4th capsule, for their hearts inclined towards peace. The 4th capsule entered Africa's airspace peacefully and landed in Ouarzazate, Morocco. The capsule never opened, and everyone watched it closely. International forces converged on the capsule's location. In America, after the catastrophic failure to shoot it down, a capsule landed in Texas. Another landed in Zurich, Switzerland, and in Asia, a capsule landed in Xinjiang, China. Military forces surrounded each site, ready and wary. Hotlines buzzed continuously, relaying the latest developments. Humans were terrified, pondering their fate if mysterious extraterrestrial beings emerged from the capsules. They knew how conflicts among themselves ended and were petrified that this time, the battle might be against an unknown alien entity whose tactics, style, and technology were entirely unfamiliar, with a hint of superiority evident in its ability to evade missiles. On the moon, Commander Leonos was determined to ensure the safe arrival of each capsule's cargo. She decided to open the capsules remotely at the same moment after confirming that they had all landed safely. The first capsule opened in Ouarzazate, and Jonathan emerged. The second opened in Zurich, releasing Rose. The third opened in America, where Will emerged. The 4th opened in China, revealing James. No human knew why the capsules were sent separately to these specific locations. However, it was later revealed that the Lunarians had excelled in creating a genetic map proving that the genetic origin of each of the 4 astronauts traced back to the location where they landed. This was uncovered in the investigations following the astronauts' landing. From simply reading the thoughts and memories of these astronauts, the Lunarians achieved a success never attained by humans, establishing the diverse races and genes of humans on Earth. Meanwhile, humans remained baffled by understanding their origins and languages, incapable of achieving comprehensive peace among themselves without igniting racial and religious conflicts or economic wars, and attempting to seize each other's resources through the most heinous means and trivial pretexts. This event made humans realize their weakness in the face of the might of the unknown civilizations hidden in the universe, possibly making human civilization the least developed. This realization led them to cease sending manned missions to the moon again, for this was the sole message and serious warning brought back by the 4 astronauts upon their return. The story ends here. Reflect, think. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed the story. Share your thoughts in a comment below. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Wait as for another story soon.